out there
It's
playing
just
baseball and shit. It's crazy.
the gamer future is doomed. Speaking of
So
doomed, though, so we peeped the Avengers Doomsday teasers. I'm pretty sure if you're online, you've seen them, whether it was the leaked version or the actual, Marvel put out teasers, and it has caused kind of a stir online, which is typical if you're on Twitter, right, or X. But for me, a little bit of it's been a little odd to me. Like, I like the teasers and I like what they're doing, but it also feels like a finite thing. Like, for instance, when they showed Thor, and they're showing him with his daughter and everything, it doesn't feel like it feels like the threat is real, but it also feels like this might be his last adventure. And so that's what's got me locked. What's got me locked is like, oh, this might be the end of some of these
this is
people,
it. Yeah.
based on how they're showing it and whatnot. But I know a lot of people were upset because they saw, the original Captain America, and they're like, what about Sam? And I was like, hold on,
Yeah. Like,
multiverse, and I'm pretty sure some type of time travel. Like, I considering that the Fantastic Four are also going to be in this, I'm not shaken by that. I'm not like they're replacing Sam. Disney and Marvel are like, it didn't work out, so we're gonna replace him. I don't really think it's that. I think he was good. He was meant to come back, just like they have the X-Men joining. They have Shang-Chi is going to be in it. Like, they have a lot of characters that we just haven't seen in a long time going to be in the film. So I don't think it's a replacement thing. I just think that, like, oh, this is a really huge film that's going to have all these actors, right? And the fact that it's finite is interesting in a sense because they all can't share screen time. There's way too many people. You know what I'm saying? So
what
somebody
did
gonna
y'all
die.
expect
Like,
these trailers be? Like, these people piss me off.
right? Like, it's interesting. But what were your thoughts when you saw like some of the teasers?
All right, so first off, to counter that, have y'all learned nothing from the first Avengers in game
Right.
and trailers, bruh? Like, they played us. They had Hulk running around in that trailer, and the
Yes.
Hulk never was in it. Like, we
Right.
had him in the first few minutes of the first part, and then he was out the whole time. Like, they totally played us with the trailers, y'all. We gotta relax ourselves. Just
Yes.
calm down. Let's
Yes.
not make assumptions. Plus, why would Sam be showing up right now? We already know what Sam just recently had to deal with in his movie. So he wouldn't be in the past with Cap, because Cap clearly went back to the past and we saw him with his baby. And
Right.
so
Right.
that meant if we go back to current day, that baby should be grown.
Right.
We don't know who that little baby is, but we just know that baby is there somewhere. Like, I'm sure that's gonna come up. T'Challa done went and had a little T'Challa somewhere else too. So
Right.
we know that it's like this. The one thing I've noticed so far, and cool, whatever. It is clearly around like, I got stuff to lose. Like,
Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
a dad, and I got something to lose. Protect me. Like,
Right.
it's, while ironically, we going up against the Doom, who looks like Iron Man,
Right.
who literally told y'all in Doomsday, in the last game, in game, I got too much to lose. I
Right.
probably shouldn't be here. And now
Right.
everybody else is like, oh man, like, hopefully I get home to my kids. Like, y'all, no, don't do that, because Tony gone. And now y'all got to face, and we can already feel it. So now y'all have to face the guilt that y'all can go home to y'all kid, but now y'all got to face this Tony who isn't really Tony,
Right.
but looks exactly like Tony, but you're torn. And so now you got to watch Tony die again,
Potentially.
essentially. Like, like he shouldn't be able to, because Doom being Doom, it shouldn't be that easy.
Right. Right.
But I mean, as I watched it, and I think me and my wife was talking about it recently, man, it's the concept of it seems cool. The X-Men one, if that is real, that's dope. But man, it just reminded us, man, how like Jonathan Majors really effed up the entire MCU, brother. Like, we should not be here at all. Like, why are we even talking about Doom? We shouldn't be. We should literally be talking about a whole different villain. But no, he
Right.
somehow fought Ant-Man and then decided to go fight people in real life and ruined it. Y'all every time I saw him, man, like, the MCU was kind of disconnected. Yeah, a dude decided
Yeah.
he was gonna be crazy. Like,
Right.
and now
Right.
the entire MCU had to just kind of be rewritten. Even though weirdly enough, here's another one of these moments, y'all, where we could just recast people. Like, just I understand the principle on stuff, y'all, but sometimes we could just recast people when we have these huge ideas in mind, and then one person trick it up. You're like, all right, well, throw the whole thing away. Get Robert Downey Jr. Let him be Doom. It's like, damn, bro. Like, what I'm hoping for as we see this, and I'm preparing for it, is that Robert Downey is one of many Dooms, and
Mm,
that his Doom isn't like the real one we should be worried about. Like, I'm kind of hoping that, because even in a multiversal saga, there's a Doom out there that is like out dooming the other Dooms. There is
right.
always one. And if we, spoiler alert, because if you haven't seen the Fantastic Four at this point, it's already on Disney Plus, and then it was in the theater or whatever. And I saw it last summer, so we are now into the first part of the year, right? So when we go through that, like that end credit scene, and then we get that moment with what's his name, the young boy. I don't know how I lost his name.
Richard, not Richard.
Richard. No.
It's Franklin. Franklin.
Franklin. Yeah,
Yeah,
Franklin.
Franklin.
Sorry. But yeah, so we get Franklin, and he's clearly there with the green hooded man, who we can
Right.
assume is Doom, right? We see him there. Is this Doom from their universe? Or is like this, because this Doom clearly is gonna have his mask off at some point, because there's gonna be a reveal moment where it's like, oh my god, he looks like Tony, and like there's going to be some moment of that. So he clearly can't have the face that we are expecting him to have as a
I
Doom
mean,
person.
he might, because if you think about it, if he's coming from, because I'm looking at that end credit scene and the Thunderbolts end credit scene, right? And I feel like when I before I saw the films, I thought because I saw Thunderbolts and then we saw Fantastic Four. I thought the Fantastic Four coming into the 616 universe was them leaving because Galactus destroyed theirs or destroyed
Right.
their Earth, right?
I thought
But
that too.
the fact that they beat Galactus, spoiler alert, I think it's
What?
Doom, right? Right? I think it's Doom though. I think it's Doom that actually destroys everything and they flee. And I think this Doom is coming from another reality. Because as soon as, like, when Sue saw him, she wasn't like, oh, Doom. She was like, oh, who is this person with my, at least from what I'm
Yeah, who this
gathering.
person with my
Like, who
baby?
is this person? You know what I'm saying? So like it wasn't like a Doom, their reality. I think it's like this person is from a different reality, and it's like whatever his agenda is, he stumbles into this one and causes havoc, and then they flee to like warn other people, and Doom follows. That's what I'm thinking is going to
I
happen.
like it. I like
You
it.
know what I'm saying? But I'm curious, like, and like you were saying, going back to Jonathan Majors, I feel like they didn't have to make. I get why they did it, because they had him in the Loki show, they had him in the film, and so they had all the Kangs looking like him. But the Kangs don't necessarily have to look alike, being from multiversal.
Right.
And they've unfortunately they did that with the MCU with a lot of the characters, where they go to a different version and it's like you look exactly like him. But when we look at, let's say, uh, Deadpool and Wolverine, we saw Cap wasn't Cap, he was Johnny
Human
Storm.
Torch.
You know what I'm saying? So like it's possible for you to cast someone else and it still work.
Yeah.
And you've already did it with War Machine. You know what I'm
Yeah, we
saying?
did it
So
with Rhodey, bro.
yeah.
That was great. Like, oh my god. And it was so like on the nose. We walked to the courtroom. He looked up, he was like, Rhodey?
Right?
Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
That's
like,
you?
and
Like,
we all at the same time were, oh, okay. And then we just went on. Like that one scene happened, and that's it. Like we just move on, bro.
that
We
was
could
like
do stuff like that.
was it the Fresh Prince with Aunt Viv
Well,
change?
Viv,
And
yeah, bro.
they're like, huh, okay. And then just kept it moving.
Yep, you just move on, bro. Like that's exactly what you need. Like, and we unfortunately didn't get that here. Um, but I still have hope, obviously, for all of this. But I, I don't know. What bothers me though, as we're leading into this, it feels like there's been such a like this because of the gaps in between stuff.
Right, right.
When our first 10 years with the MCU, the gaps weren't as big, and so it was a lot easier to remember things. So like
True.
Shang-Chi came out years ago, right? you would need to go back to peep Shang-Chi. But then also, it was a little bit easier to keep stuff together. They had the Agents of Shield at first, and it was like, all right, we kind of counting it, and then it was like, never mind, just like they'll be affected by the MCU, but it ain't gonna do nothing, right?
Right.
Then as we have that though, pretty much everything was kind of like unified at this point. Like we got like the Eternals thing happened, and we didn't get anything about that until the last Captain America movie, and it's crazy because been this thing just sitting in the middle of the ocean, this
Right.
big eternal, like this big monster god sitting there, and like everybody just been living, and no one even mentioned it, but maybe like twice. That's like, bro, that's a
Yeah.
big deal, right? And
Right.
so that finally got mentioned. Shang-Chi happened. A whole dragon showed up, y'all. Like, and these dude just like a man walked through a portal, was just like, hey, we gonna need to holler at y'all. You're like, all right, cool, and then nothing again.
Right.
And then like oh, by the way, now you got to also keep up with shows on the on the show app, and like it's just so difficult for people who, so there's going to be folks who didn't watch the Captain America Winter Soldier show, who when they came into the Captain America junk was just like, all right, like I see he got the suit, but like what led to this?
Right.
Thunderbolts I thought was great, but again, a movie that just felt like it was by itself, and then it had a cutscene, well, end credit scene, but it just didn't feel like it just doesn't feel like most of this stuff is actually joined together. So like post that Ant-Man stuff, I thought we were gonna get more, obviously with like that realm, the Loki stuff happened, and then like Loki ended. And I was like, wait, like I thought we were gonna get more of the Time Bureau stuff, and we're not. So that's just gone now. It's just I have no real idea. Like, are we just gonna get this? Like, hey, here's an Avengers movie. You'll enjoy the cameos, and that's what it kind of feels like we're kind of going into. I don't. I'm obviously still gonna be there, seated first weekend, all that yada yada. But like, I would have liked for it to be a little. I don't know. Like, I guess I need something to kind of bridge this stuff together.
I think it's
And
a not to cut you off. I think
no, good.
it's a difficult thing, right? Because on one hand, if you say you have to watch the shows and you don't have access, or what, for whatever the case, you just miss stuff, right? Like my wife has like missed a couple shows, not on purpose, but it was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing, because she's not on the internet like we are. You know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
it's like every announcement I know of type stuff, and so it's like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Let me go check that out, and that's cool. But then on the flip side, it's like for the people who don't have that, who don't have Disney Plus, you want to still keep them in the loop somehow. So you want to, you know, untangle some of it, so it's not, they don't feel like they're missing a whole lot. I think for that, it comes down to how well the movies are, because I think they needed to go back, and they've been trying to do this a little bit, but people are, I think there's a split between people who are expecting like in-game level of everything past in-game, and people who are like, you know what, it needs to reboot in a sense. For me, I'm on the other end where I'm like, it needs to reboot in the sense that we have to introduce these new characters, which means we have to write out these older ones, and we have to slow things down and just have these movies breathe on their own for a little while. Because you remember, like in the beginning of the MCU, it was a solo movie and then a cameo after the credits, then
Right.
solo movie, cameo of the, and I was like, I think you need to do that, so then the films just feel good to watch again. You're not like, crap, I'm in between two films plus a show. What exactly? Who is this person again? What is happening? And it, what I'm saying, it doesn't, because this isn't just for the comic book heads. This is for the general population. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And so I think Marvel kind of painted themselves into a corner, and I think they're slowly digging their way out.